What is happening, Fisher? Dina from Untraceable Fishing here today, once again with
Jared from Balamoya Fishing Tackle.
and welcome to
Tackle Tuesdays.
Anyway, so we are carrying on our routine with running some different species.
Yes.
We've covered the ragged shark, the cob, black mussel cracker, and the pig nose.
Yes.
So we're going to change it up a bit tonight, get away from the bait a bit, although the species can be caught on bait. And we're going to look at
The Garrick.
the Garrick, the Leerfish, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much a fish that can be caught on almost the entire South African coastline.
Yes.
Beautiful fish, guys. The ladyfish, they call it ladyfish. The reason they call it ladyfish, a very clean fighting fish. You don't often, you're going to get Garrick, it's going to snap you up in the bricks.
Yeah, it's quite a gentleman fight.
Yeah, nice top water fight. He stays away from the bricks.
Yes.
So, but a beautiful fish. I think every fisherman in their life, you want to catch a Garrick.
Yeah.
At some time in your life. Powerful fish, extremely fast, predatory fish, lateral line and sight feeders, and a fantastic fish to catch, especially on top water. I
Yes.
think that there's nothing more exciting than seeing a Garrick coming up and hitting a top water lure.
Definitely.
They do hit other lures, but I think there's nothing more exhilarating, anything like any life. So we're going to run through the tackle basics, and so Garrick, pretty much, they get up to, I think, 32, 33, 34 kilos. I know there's been some recorded some bigger fish out there, but as far as I know, up into the 30 kilos. Garrick can be found in almost all zones, in estuaries. A lot of the estuaries have Garrick. Garrick feed and breed in the estuaries. Surf zones. Not really much in too much white water off the, like where you fish for bluefish and things like that. But normally a bit of deep water. Mazeppa
Yes.
Bay Island, deep water points where there is a bit of white water around.
Yes.
One of the key things when you are looking for Garrick in the surf zone, thing like that, white water.
Yeah.
They want, what white water does, it creates a habitat for your bait fish to live in. Okay, it's safe, so the fish can't see them, and Garrick will feed, and they use that white water as coverage to prey on the fish.
Yes.
So what do Garrick eat? Most diets, I think mullet, carantine, and mackerel are pretty much the
Yes.
three fish you're going to catch Garrick on if you are using live baits. But we're not going to go into live baits tonight. We are going to talk specifically
Lures.
lure fishing. Okay, so rod choice. Where do we start with rod, Jared?
So, for most of the applications that we're going to be using, I would recommend something around an 11-foot length.
Yeah, as an all-rounder.
Yeah, as an all-rounder, something in 11-foot length. So this option that we have here is the Assassin Affinity. That's what Dina's grabbed.
I think it's a 9 foot.
I think this is a 9.6.
9.6, yeah.
But
So-
as an all-round, I'd probably say an 11-foot if you're going to be using plugs and your jerk minnows and stuff like that.
If you want one rod to cover them all, 11 foot's the way to go. You can get a bit more specific on the type of lure and stuff you are using if you really start getting into it.
Yeah.
So a 1 to 3 ounce or 1 to 4 ounce, 11 foot, whatever your budget can afford, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Reel size.
Either between a 5,000 or a 6,000 size reel.
To suit the rod you're getting. Also, guys, whatever your budget can afford.
Yeah.
Nice spinning reel for even a 4,000 on some of the smaller rods, but we're just talking one rod and one reel, either 5,000, 6,000 on 11
Yes.
foot. We're going to be running braid, obviously, on that for casting distance and things like that. I'd suggest anyone new into lure fishing, get yourself a 30 pound to
Yeah.
start off with.
Yes.
Less snags, less little wind knots and things like that. Get a 30 pound. When you start getting a bit more proficient and you want a little bit of accuracy, you want that extra little bit of distance, you want a little bit more finesse, drop to a 20 or even drop down to a 15 pound of a good quality braid. But for getting going, I think a 30 pound is a good place to start.
Definitely.
Out of that. So when it comes to, we're going to run through 11 foot as a general rod. I normally started 11 foot on my last trip to Mazeppa Bay. We've got some nice fish. I just found that 11 foot with the plug works beautifully.
Yes.
Works absolutely beautifully. Throws the plug a mile, works the plug nicely. You've got a nice rod, a high rod action when you the plug. But then I switched over and I started fishing with stick baits, guys. We're running through the lures now. That's pretty much what a stick bait is.
Yeah.
And on a stick bait, 11 foot is a bit too much hard work. Eh?
Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable.
It's a little bit uncomfortable for your sweeping motions and like that. That's where something like a 9 foot or 9'6", even down to 8'7", depending on how much distance you need to get,
Yes.
might come in there. But we're not going to go into too many details. You'll figure that out as you're going along.
Yeah.
And then the guys in the estuaries are fishing the rivers, good little 7 foot rod,
Yeah.
and a little 3,000 or 4,000 size spinning reel.
That'll be perfect.
More you need, 8 to 10 pound braid is all you need, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so lure choices, there's a lot of different lures you can catch Garrick on. Everyone will know these as the number one, depending on what brand it is. Obviously, the chisel nose plugs, the
Yes.
flat nose chisel nose plug, the needle nose, chisel nose plug, and then you
Yes.
get the skinny chisel nose plug as well.
Yes.
We do have a separate video. Go back and check out. I'll also drop the link in below on what plugs to use for what conditions. We have a whole separate video on that. You can go check that out.
Yeah.
If you want to know which plug you use in different conditions. But that is I think every angler's go-to.
Definitely.
Garrick lure.
Definitely.
Followed by one I don't have on the table, the good old silver spoon.
Yes.
Fantastic lure for catching Garrick. And then we have
The bucktails.
the bucktail, which is probably second on my list, especially if the Garrick are not fishing on the surface. They might be a bit more suspended.
Yeah.
Garrick like just at 2 or 3 meters off the bottom and just sits around and floric around and stuff like that.
Yes.
So if you are fishing a bit of deeper water and need to get through the water column, a bucktail makes an excellent choice.
Yes.
A bit more action required to work this lure, but it makes an excellent choice. My new favorite way to catch Garrick though,
On top order.
stick baits.
Okay.
Chisel nose plug I like, just reeling in. Stick bait where you can create your own sort of action. You get the Garrick chase, you can slow it down, you can pop it up, you can start walking the dog.
Yes.
So on the last trip to Mazeppa, we found the Clone Apex 140. Fantastic lure. Fantastic lure, guys. Check them out. They a third or quarter of the price of the other stick baits out there. So just check out the Apex 140 by Clone. It's a fantastic size for Garrick. Comes in all the different available colors and things like that. Otherwise, if you are someone that likes the best money can buy, I think the Nomad Riptide. I think this is the 1 foot. What size is this? I'm trying 165.
Yeah.
I think that'll be your ultimate big Garrick lure out there if you are looking for a bit of a top range lure.
Yes.
So lure wise, what else, Jared? We've also got we'll let you chat about that one a bit.
Yeah, so this style is the jerk minnow. So they're available 4-inch, 5-inch, 7-inch. Generally for the bigger Garrick, talking about fishing the 11-foot rods, you want to be throwing up to about a 7-inch jerk minnow. And then the ideal jig head you're going to be using would be the bullet head. That's got a really nice profile. It fits very well on your jerk minnows. These are also good, as Dean said, similar to a bucktail where the Garrick might not be feeding on the surface. Either they're a little bit shy or it's a little bit more clear and cleaner.
Not too much coverage around.
Yes, and then in that case, you might want to go over onto a jerk minnow. I did see on my trip to Mazeppa, one of the guys got a really good size Garrick on a jerk minnow. These you're able to fish a wide variety and depth of the water column.
Water column. You got a chance of a cob hitting and things like that. You're not really having with the stick baits and the chisel nose plugs.
Yes, and then
It's also it's a cheaper alternative. Like stick baits, plugs, you're looking at 100 Rand. Yeah, you're getting 5 lures for like 150 bucks. If you're snapping up, so it's a bit of a more cost-effective way.
Definitely. And then as Dean and I were discussing earlier, so generally
why do we have two different like shape jig heads?
So the bullet head, that's the main one the guys use. The other style we got on the table is the ball head. However, as we were discussing, generally you don't want to be using the ball head. This tends to drag more into the sand.
Yeah, so that more say if I was fishing maybe a paddle tail, then I wanted to drag it for a cob through the bottom or things like that.
Yeah, so the ball heads or the bullet head has the perfect shape, fits really nicely with the jerk minnow, and it gives it the right action for when you're retrieving the lure. Bearing in mind, you're going to work it similar to a bucktail. You're going to cast it out, let it sink, give it 2 or 3 twitches, and then lift your rod tip up to get the jerk minnow to do its job.
Okay, so just running through the rest of the terminal tackle. The way I'd run it, braid straight from my reel. I wouldn't run a braided leader fishing for Leervis. I just run my braid straight, 30-pound braid. My number one choice is fluorocarbon as a leader. But more clarity in the water, especially Garrick can be very skittish. You don't have to run fluorocarbon, guys. You catch them on mono just as much. But fluorocarbon is a nice alternative if you can afford it. Put some fluorocarbon on it. It's going to increase your bite rate a bit better, especially if the Garrick are in crystal clear water. From there, I run my fluorocarbon, gets tied to a swivel.
Yeah.
And then I have a little quick clip on the front of that. Please excuse the phone there, guys. I have a little quick clip on the front of that, so when I want to change lures, I can change over without having to cut my fluorocarbon.
Yes.
And that tiny, it's a little number 5 power swivel, is small enough to reel through the eyes of your rod and have it on your reel. So next time you don't have to keep tying because you keep on shortening the length of your fluorocarbon.
Yes. So
you can keep it on for multiple sessions after. If you use number 5, it fits to the guides on the affinities. I've tested it out. Number 6.
Okay.
Number 6, the number 4, so it's a bigger one.
Yes.
It doesn't fit through. Number 5 just fits through. So grab a number 5. So the nice thing about Garrick, guys, sunrise, sunset, beautiful time to catch Garrick, but 12 o'clock in the day, that's my favorite time. When the sky is, the the sun is directly above you, that is my favorite time to catch Garrick. There's the most light in the water. They are feeding at their most. So like midday, I have the most success with Garrick like that.
Okay.
So Garrick can be caught through the whole day. They're not really nighttime feeders. There are one instances I have with the guys catching Leervis at night. Doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's mainly during the day that they feed.
They hunt feeders. So anyway, guys, I hope that gets you out there, gets excited. Summer months are coming. The Garrick are on their way, spring and summer.
Yes.
So get tackled up. Garrick fishing doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Get yourself a nice basic setup and get out there, catch some Garrick. So anyway, guys, from Dean from Untraceable Fishing and
Jared from Bullemore Fishing Tackle.
Cheers.
Cheers.